Nimbulawinaka. I'm Dr. Chone Hawea. I thank everyone who have watched my video, reacted and commented. There were those that supported my views, and there were those that were against my views, and I thank you. I thank you for taking the time to oppose, because that is what real dialogue is. That is what real conversation is. Opposing views, it makes arriving at solutions, it is the best way to arrive at solutions of way forward, and it allows for each and everyone's opinion to be respected. And so I thank you. I thank you for listening in and commenting and sharing. I promise to talk about the vaccine. Before I do that, I will clarify once again. I am not against vaccination. I am against forcing vaccination by threatening people of their livelihood, their means to live. I am against forcing vaccination by threatening people of taking away their livelihood, their means to live. That is what I'm against. So let's talk about the vaccine. And there are a lot of information out there, and I'm sure a lot of people have access to the different types of vaccines, and like AstraZeneca, Pfizer, and the companies that produce it, and how much we have in Fiji, the jabs that we need to get. So I will get straight to the issue that is causing a lot of concern for most people in Fiji. To vaccinate because I am protecting myself and my family, I'm protecting my business, I am protecting my students, and so forth. So what the evidence is saying is that after the second jab, you have a 92% protection, and therefore you have lesser chances of getting hospitalized or even dying. You have lesser chances. And so it protects you from being hospitalized from the infection, from a COVID-19 infection, or dying from a COVID-19 infection. And so that is the positive side to it. That is a positive side to it. What is the negative side? Now, the evidence is saying that by being vaccinated, you can still have an infection, but it will be mild or moderate, and you wouldn't really need to be hospitalized by the infection. But that's the key word. You can get infected still. And that's the negative side to it. The reason I say it's the negative side to it is because of this. Because you can still get infected, it means you are still infectious. Let me repeat that again. When you have the vaccine, the second jab, it does not prevent you from being infected by the virus. You can still have an infection. It will be a mild or moderate, but an infection nonetheless. And because you have an active infection, it makes you infectious. So while you are having the infection, you can spread the virus. I hope you get that. By being vaccinated, it does not prevent you from spreading the virus, because you can still have an infection and be infectious. If a teacher gets vaccinated, she still can get a COVID-19 infection and therefore be infectious and spread it to his or her students. If a parent gets vaccinated, she can still get infected, mild or moderate one, infection still, and therefore that parent can spread the virus to his or her children or the rest of the family, especially the sick ones in the family, those with chronic illnesses. If an employer gets vaccinated, it does not prevent that employer from getting an infection, mild or moderate infection nonetheless, and therefore that employer still is infectious and can spread it to his or her employees, and vice versa. So getting the vaccination, first jab or second jab, does not prevent you from spreading the virus. The evidence is you are only protected from being hospitalized by the infection. But you still have the infection, and therefore you are infectious, and therefore you can still spread the virus. So your status of infectiousness is the same as the person that did not get a vaccination. I hope that is clear, because vaccination is being used to justify. Forced vaccination is being used here. Now, if we agree to go ahead with this law, that means we are threatening people to get vaccinated when the basis of that threat is that even if you get vaccinated, you can still spread the virus. How do you justify that? How do you justify that? And if people choose not to get vaccinated, you then punish them by removing their means to life, their livelihood, their work. There are more workers than employers, and therefore this law affects majority of the population of this country. Vaccinated or not, you can still spread the virus because you can still get infected. Get off our high horses. Let's stop stigmatizing people who are choosing not to get vaccinated. Let's stop stereotyping. Let's stop this nonsense disrespect. There is fear, and the reason for fear is because it is their bodies, their lives. The fear is real. Respect that. Some people are saying the lives of the masses, the right of the masses must be respected here than the rights of the individual. Especially when we are quoting from the right to life in our Constitution. Well, the right to life clause only applies if it stops the spread of an infectious disease, prevents or stops the spread of an infectious disease. Does getting vaccinated stop you from spreading the disease? No, because you can still get infected and therefore you become infectious and spread the virus and the disease. Let's get that facts right. Respect people as individuals. We are saying the rights of the masses. What makes up the masses? Individuals. Respect individuals first, then they will form the masses. Respect individuals first. Especially in this case, when we are trying to justify a threat to the right to live, because it's the right to livelihood, means to live. That is right to life still. Our people need to be respected as individuals first. It is their bodies, it is their life. Respect that. You do not have authority over someone else's body. And by the way, our people are more knowledgeable than we take them to be. The Honorable Prime Minister your government, the government of the people, supports the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, education for all. The policies and the motto of the Ministry of Education is building a more knowledgeable society. Honorable Sir, the people of this nation are more knowledgeable thanks to those policies. The internet in the mobiles, in the palms of every Fijian, has allowed for the farmer in Naitasiri or the fisherman in Lau to research what is going on in the Americas, Europe, Africa, Asia, and everywhere else in the world, and become more knowledgeable. We need to respect that. We need to respect that. Respect the individuals. Then they will mobilize to form the masses and support the cause. I respect, Honorable Sir, Honorable Prime Minister, I respect the government's view to have vaccination as the way out of this economic crisis brought on by the global lockdown. I respect that. But to force vaccination, that is unethical. And I will still stand by that. Especially when the forceful vaccination is by the use of threat to take away people's livelihood. That is tying a noose around people's neck and then pretending to say, no, you still can sign the consent form. If you tie a noose around my neck, my saying yes is coerced by the fact that if I don't say yes, my livelihood, my family's means to live is going to be taken away. That is unethical. And we are justifying that based on the fact that this vaccination still makes the virus spread. That is no justification at all. Being vaccinated does not prevent you from being infected. Therefore, it does not prevent you from being infectious. Therefore, it does not prevent you from spreading the virus. With due respect, I will challenge health professionals out there with that statement. with that fact that vaccination does not prevent the spread of COVID-19 virus, because it does not prevent an infection, and therefore it does not prevent an individual from being infectious. I invite health professionals out there to challenge that statement. Correct me. The people deserve to know that fact. If that fact is clarified today, I will urge the people, we all get vaccinated. Law or no law, let's get vaccinated. Clarify that fact, because that is the basis of all these poor justifications to an unethical move. And for those who think that the basis of my Talanoa on ethics is my oath, medical ethics has its historical roots in the Nuremberg Code, in the Declaration of Helsinki, in the international guidelines for biomedical research on human subjects, and therefore it is ingrained in the UN human rights laws and subsequently the Constitution of the World Health Organization. It's not out of just a simple oath. This is a child vaccine, and therefore all these codes and guidelines are there to protect humanity from being forced to receive a child vaccine or a child medicine. That is the basis of the medical ethics that I quote. Getting vaccinated does not mean that you discriminate against those who are not vaccinated, because your status of infectiousness are the same. Let's treat each other with respect. Let's treat each other with respect. And let's get our facts right. The people of this nation, the hard-working workers of this nation deserve to know the facts of the matter. To everyone out there, I am not against vaccination. I am against this forceful vaccination by threatening people to deny them of their means to live their livelihood. Pinaka.